What's the deal, my people? You know it is the Don Tony Teflon. I am back with you, another of my familiar. What is going on? We are here to talk about from season 3. Now we're gonna go into, we've done the recap, we've done the review, we've done that. You've seen all that and everything on the pre-show and after show and all that good stuff. This is the theory show. We're talking all theories on this one. We're gonna talk about every theory that you got, theories that I got. We're gonna kick them around a little bit and stuff, And after that, everything else, we're gonna get into this. I promise you that. We got the call in line will be open and everything else. LMR would like to send you her love. She is running late. She does not believe that she's gonna be able to make it. So you will get the dime solo tonight. So that means that you have to call in so that so I have people to talk to and stuff. It's not fun for me not to talk by myself all the time and all that. So it'd be great to have if you do call in and everything else. Let's say what up to the people who are here joining us early right off the bat. We got Jacob B. Johnson, Jacoby Johnson Wilson. What's going on? Thank you for showing up. Nick Bennett is in the building rocking with us. Baby Clay Media and Reactions is up here. Debbie Bebby is in here rocking with us right now. Delicia Dame Tucker is in the building. Kimberly is in here. She does the most is up in this piece. Jason H is in this piece rocking with us. Tyler is here. The Fountain of Youth is up in there. I would like to find that fountain. I truly would. Spicer K is in the building rocking with us. Miss T is in here. Grim Locker is in here. I mean, my sister Cody Cole is in the building rocking with us right now. Man, Jay Sleek is in the building rocking with us. Wayne Fitching is in here rocking with us right now. Listen, man. Thank you all for running, always coming through every week and everything else. I really, truly appreciate it, man. Edward Martin, Daniel Morris, all everybody, Katie Joe, or everybody up in there. Unicorn One. Look at the people. They keep coming in. And make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way. You know what I mean? It's easier to hit it on your way in. And then you won't forget about it and stuff. I know sometimes we forgetting about it. Do it. Make sure you hit that and everything else, and that is what it is. All right. Before we get into this whole situation with this thing, I would just announce that I have talked to you before about my book, my first novel that I was ever written, and I was going to drop it, and I know I was George R. R. Martin and y'all telling me, it's going to come here, it's going to come this day, and everything. This guy started getting pushed back and everything else, but I'm happy to say that the book is finally out. It is available on Amazon. You can go cop it there. I truly would appreciate it. That's once I'm on time for once, familiar. We run the familiar in here, right? The familiar. We hashtag familiar. That's what it is. So I would say that thank you. If you can go out there and cop the book, I truly would appreciate it. It was a long time coming, making this book and everything else. It took me a while to get it, and in all honesty, it was a lot of myself that held the book back for as long as it has come, because as being a real person and stuff like that, I go through real traumatic stuff and mental things in my life, and sometimes you start to question yourself. Is it good enough? Is it people gonna like it? Is it is it just in your head that you could do this? So things like that. I have postponed it, but I decided that I'm going to push through all those doubts that when your inner self tries to tell you to prevent you, to hold you back and stuff. And I'm going to put it out there for the world to see. I believe it's a great book, but if other people don't do it, I would like to hear from them if they don't like to hear from it. So that is what it is. So let me shout out my man, 150 gram, my man Smokescreen from Smokescreen YouTube channel, and my man Real from Real Enigma and Theories. It's two people. I've met a lot of people on YouTube, over the years. I've been on here for almost 10 years. And out of all the people that I've met, I've only seen 2 people on YouTube tell people to promote my book and stuff right off the back. And Smokescreen was as soon as he's seen it, and I didn't even ask him to do anything about it. as soon as he's seen it out there, I put it on Facebook and stuff. He's shared it on Facebook, shared it on Twitter, shared it on Instagram, did everything, told everyone to go out there. So I truly appreciate that 100%. And my man Real, as soon as he heard about it, he went on his live and told people that it was out and stuff, and to go cop it and everything else. So I truly do appreciate that 100%. The link is in the description for it. One of my mods will probably grab it, hopefully, and then put it in the chat for you, so that you can go check it out and everything else. And book 1, 3-book series, and hopefully you like and you enjoy it and stuff like that. I did not do a fantasy book. Obviously, I've come from the Game of Thrones stuff, and fantasy is the thing over there. So I wanted to get away from that. I didn't want to be influenced by George R. R. Martin or anyone in any way from that. So that's why I did a psychological thriller and stuff. Go check it out. It's called Darkest Before the Dawn and everything else like that. So I really hope that you go consider buying a copy of it. And then let me know. And if it, if you ever want to do a live stream about it after it's been out a little bit, I'll be more than happy to do a live stream about it. Will there be an audio copy? Is what sign? I would love to have an audio copy. I'm going to try to talk to Amanda Quinn from Ideas in Ice and Fire. I'm going to talk to David Lightbringer. I also talk to Real about it. Those things are expensive. You got to pay people to do those things, So we'll see. If I make enough money in this book, then I would reinvest it into pay someone to do audio copy. So let's see what it's selling and stuff and everything else. But I would definitely reinvest to do an audio copy for it if I could. And so we'll see how it goes. I hope to have an audio copy of it. I mean, audio books are what I usually listen to right now in my old age. My eyes ain't what they used to be. So I would definitely love to have one on Audible, but we'll see. Hopefully that is, and everything else, and that's what it is. But right now it's just up there for. Right now it's just up there. It's up there for sale on Amazon. So go out there and check it out and everything else. All right. And everything. That is what I'll say about the book. Let's get into theories. I know that's what it is. Let me throw the. It's me. Since it's me, I'll be taking calls right off the bat. Let's put it up there. The number. It would be this one, and everything else. I know it says trailer breakdown, but I'm not going to change that right now. All right, that's the number to call in 518-290-0848. We have seen a lot of things so far in this show, and this show was meant for really good theory craft and everything else. So my theory that I've come up with first, I will say that Fatima is an evil creature. She is turning into a creature. That's what I believe. I know people think that she's pregnant and it's the monster inside of her, and I'm not telling you that's not the case. Quite possibly could be the case. But whatever it is, Fatima definitely is turning into a monster. We can look at all the clues that we were given, especially when you go back and look at the clues from season 1. Let's go all the way back to season 1 with Fatima, all right? Right back from season 1. We know Ellis is a painter, and Ellis likes to paint and draw pictures and everything. But everyone that remember that seeing that painting of Fatima that looked kind of creepy. Like right behind her bed, she has that painting of herself that looks kind of dark. And I think that painting from season 1 was a foreshadowing that she eventually turned into a monster. Right off the bat. Let's go. This is 845. What's going on?
My name is Brian.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hello, hey, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just wanted to get this in real quick. I have one theory, right? And I have one more so question of did you notice this? All right. So my first theory, right?
Yep.
Is Elgin is the future version of the son of Fatima and Ellis.
All right.
He already when he first got to Fromville, right? He already said he knew about it.
Yes.
Which means he was having dreams about it. Now when he's having dreams, something that looks like Fatima is trying to kill him. Fatima is obviously turning into that banshee looking thing. I don't know what's going on with that, but That's my theory right there.
All right. So
what do you think about the theory?
Let me push it back for you for real quick about. So are you a black male?
Yes, I am.
All right. So do you believe that a half white, half black guy can have a baby that's darker skinned than him with an Iranian woman would have a baby that's darker than him and have kinkier hair than his father?
We live in a world, right, where Drake's son looked like Little Orphan Annie. Anything is possible.
I'm saying that's a different situation. Now we're talking about Drake's son, you know, with a white woman, right? Looking like
yeah.
Right. So I'm saying we're talking about Iranian woman with straight hair. He's half black, half white. I mean, usually at this particular time, I can't see it being possible that he would have a son that's darker skin with kinkier hair than his own. Biologically, I can't see how that would make sense, how they would do that.
It probably biologically it wouldn't, but on the show you could think about it, right? Like sometimes genes skip generations, right? Sometimes like you might get something from your grandfather. He probably got that from Boyd. You see what I'm saying? He probably got his color from Boyd.
He would have to.
It could be like that.
He'd have to get the. I mean, even when you look at Boyd, and Boyd had a son of, he has a white wife, and you have Ellis, and Ellis didn't get that color from him or his hair. Yeah,
but it was probably meant to go to Ellis's son instead of him. Like that's what I'm talking about, skipping the generation.
All right. Let's buy into that. Let's say that. So, what's your point of reasoning why he would be that? Would be because he's had visions of this place?
No. Because he's been to Frumville before, right? And it's in his dreams. Mm-hmm. So he's been to Frumville before. It's something with the dreams. I don't like. That's just what I'm feeling. You know, it's something with his dreams. It's something with his dreams. But that's just a theory about that, right? Like he wanted to speak to Fatima by the lake, and then by the lake where by the lake for some reason the new food is growing by the lake. It's just like it's just things that I'm noticing about that. Like that's just what I feel about that. But the second, I just wanted to say this real quick. Did you notice? Now, when Tabitha is talking to the priest, right? In the thing, she doesn't mention that her child was a boy. She says, "My baby fell." That's her exact words. "My baby fell." She leaves out, and then the priest says, "What was his name?" Automatically knows it's a boy.
100%. That definitely happened. That's definitely what he said. And she did not mention what the sex of the child was. So I could say that I don't know what that. It definitely means something. It could be
that tells me that she's still in Frumville. I believe she's still in Frumville, just a different part, but still in Frumville.
So you think she's in a level 2 type area of Frumville?
She's definitely in another level. Yes, probably. You don't have to worry about the monsters, at night, but you probably got to worry about something darker. I don't know what it is yet, but you probably do have to worry about something in some way, shape, or form in that level. She's not in there anymore, but she's in another level.
All right.
I don't see her seeing the boy in white in the real world. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, but that's all I wanted to call and say.
I appreciate the call. We'll chat some more about it as this thing goes on. Definitely call back.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, peace, brother. Yeah. So the Ellis Fatima son thing, from the reasons I gave, this doesn't fly to me at all. This for those reasons. As for the other point of being that the priest definitely did say son without them saying it. Either one of two things. Either it's a clue and it means something. The priest knows something more about what he's putting on, or there's a situation where they messed up in the writings room. Now you gotta understand where she's at. If she's at a place where Victor, his mother, his sister disappeared, and this priest has been there a long time, then he would know about the abduction of children and everything else. As we heard, Victor's father got blamed for that stuff. He got blamed for killing them. People thought he killed them. So it might be her coming in there, maybe a familiar story to him, and that made him think of that and everything else. Doesn't explain why he knew it was a boy 100%, but that could put him on alert for that and everything else. Let me take this. Dion Sherman said, "I don't think Fatima is turning her night creature. I do think she might be giving birth to something that isn't right." I agree that 100% that she could be giving birth to something that isn't right, but it seems that her physical form is the one that's deteriorating, unless the baby is really sucking that much life out of her. Now that's turning her like that. And the more, but we got to see if she eats all this rotted food and all of a sudden she becomes healthy. Like if she all of a sudden those symptoms all go away and she becomes healthy after eating all this rotted food, then we would be able to see what's going on there. So then we would say, all right, then the soil's rotted. Now you have to start thinking to yourself, now, is this the reason why they rotted the crops? Did they know that she was pregnant with this child and the town itself made the soil rotten so she could have nutrition for this baby? It could be a situation like that. So we would have to really look into that. But only way to know about that is to see how she reacts after eating this food, if she actually gets healthy or not, and everything. So that's the way I would go with that whole situation. We got another call coming through.
Call from
Rebel Eric.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
What's going on, Don? This is Rebel Eric.
What's going on, Reb?
Oh man, not much. How things going for you?
That's all right. Big day in my life of the release of the book. So that was a huge day in my life. So it's been good. Hopefully I get to go in and celebrate it this weekend.
Yeah, I'm interested in that book, man. What you said it was about? You said it was like a adventure or something?
Yeah, it's a psychological thriller about a black female FBI agent who is on the hunt for a serial kidnapper who has kidnapped I think a total of 35 black children in the matter under a year. And she's been brought in to try to close the case because she is famed for being able to close the case, but it seems that every time she does get closer to doing it, something pulls her away from it. So she starts to think whether everything she's doing, is it really real? Is it really happening, or something else happening? And that's basically that's right up my alley. I like little I watch a lot of documentaries on like serial killers and stuff like that. Crazy, I'm interested in that, man. All right, well, I appreciate it.
I just wanted to get into this show and these theories.
Mm-hmm.
So what you think about this theory of like people gotta die for them to get something like in return? Like Tien, what was her name? Tien died.
Tien Chen, yep.
And then they found those vegetables at the same type of time, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel like you have to get, and then they went on a little like when Boyd went on his little adventure and he found the talismans, and it's like they have to go out into, if they don't go out into the world or into Fromville, they don't get any, anything in return, but it comes with a price.
All right. Yeah. So I think it's this. And my last video, I pointed out, I found on the wall that Victor was in there with Tabitha at the end of season 1 where the red monster is on the wall. To the right of the red monster on the floor of the wall, you can see that place is there. You can see the cabbages and it has the totems surrounding it. So that place had already been there before Tien Chen had died. No one was able to find it.
Yeah, but do you think they still have to go out and explore Fromville just to find anything?
Well, until Boyd and Sarah went out into the forest, they said that's the deepest anyone ever tried going into the forest. Because you got to understand, at this particular time, before all this stuff started happening, all the days that no deaths and everything, only thing they were really considering or doing here was just trying to stay alive. They weren't really looking for a way out anymore. They had gotten accustomed to the life that they have lived, and they just said, this is what it's going to be, and we're going to make the best of it. So it wasn't until after the events of starting in season 1 that they started to explore and try to get out of the place.
Right. And then with the whole, I agree with you totally. And with the whole, I like this season, like we kind of getting answers quickly, like, and they kind of like drop a little breadcrumbs as far as like how people may be becoming creatures there with the whole Fatima thing.
Mm-hmm.
You think they kind of showing us like, okay, this is how, and then how the other people became creatures could have been kind of in the same type of way, right?
Yeah, it could definitely be the same exact way. It could be the same exact way. Like this is how they become the monsters. We don't know exact situation of how they do it, but it could be Fatima. Could be the new creature that's forming. All the people in town could become creatures, and then they bring in a whole new set of people 100 years or so later, and now these creatures are the creatures that chase them down. So we haven't really figured it out. I do like the I Love Lucy theory, that that all the characters are coming from I Love Lucy. Look, around that era of this time, it could be a situation like that going on too. But in the end, we don't know. But it does seem in the end to me that Fatima 100%, when we look at everything that they've shown you from this show, from season 1, with the picture of her that Ellis drew behind the bed, with her not being able to get into the house when the door was locked, or wasn't locked because the talisman was there, so eating the dirty food, to her looking into the exact same mirror that
Oh, wait a minute. So you said in season 1 that she tried to get in the house and couldn't because of the thing.
No, in season 1, if you look behind her bed, there's a picture that Ellis drew of her, and if you look at that picture, you'll see that looks like she looks kind of like a demon in that picture.
Yeah, I remember that. And then with the whole feeling like it's a game thing, like I want to kind of believe it's a game, but I don't. It's kind of wacky because of the time travel type stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But she did get out, and then what was that? Donna saying that it's this game is rigged and stuff like that. Why would they put that in there if it didn't have something to do with a game type thing?
It definitely could be a foreshadowing that this is a game that people are playing with them, and that's why they put the game is rigged. It also could just be a matter of speech that someone says, this game is rigged. I mean, we call, if you from the streets, we call everything a game. Right? The crack game's a game, everything's a game. This is the way the game goes. And it could be a situation like they in this game, and this is what, and the game is fucking rigged. We can't make no sense of it.
Yeah, and then do you feel like they could just make monsters out of people if they want to? Because why all of a sudden the Fatima is turning into a creature?
It has to be
like, why her out of all the people?
Yeah, exactly. So they've been killing so many people, and they haven't turned them into monsters at all. We've seen that they're harvesting the organs for something. It could be a situation where somehow she's special in some way that we don't know yet. That they haven't explained.
Not to cut you off, but is Boy gonna tell us what they did with the organs? I mean, you literally saw this lady get ripped into shreds. You ain't see the organs, and did they put them in a pouch? I mean, what they do with these people's organs, bro? Is anybody gonna ask Boyd this?
I hope so, because we need to know exactly, because we know that they're not feeding on these people. We know they're just killing, and they always rip open the chest cavity and pull out the organs from there specifically. So why are they taking those organs? Why are they harvesting them? Are these people that are there being experimented on, and these are the major organs that the scientists need to examine the effects of what's going on with these people?
Some type of secret society probably been going on for a long time, because what's his name's dad, Victor's dad said, and his wife was saying that it's been going on for a while. So could be some kind of organ, people snatching organs, and this is the only way they can really do it.
Yeah, no, 100%. We have seen, we've heard of stories of secret societies doing sacrifices in our world itself. And they could be expanding upon this and making it, a whole show, but making it go on for centuries and everything else. And this is what they do.
And they turn it into some type of evil game. But one more thing, but I remember we had the guy on there who was saying something about the tarot cards, and so it could be something to do with that now too. Now that, because the game stuff kind of got me,
No, I Terran Matharu is his name, and I think that he could be onto something with the tarot cards. I don't agree with the entire theory, But I do believe he could be
Right.
on something with the tarot cards themselves, and it could be some type of thing that's projecting itself as magic. I mean, we see a Ouija board in this police at some point, then we know something's great going on here with some magic type situation.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm interested in your book. You said it's on Amazon?
Yes, it is. The link, they have put it in the description in the chat, so you can go on the
Okay.
chat and see the link. It's right up in there.
Okay. Hey, man, and I'll read the book for you, man. You ain't got to pay me nothing. I'll be your audio.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Big fan. You know, I'll try to get on here and call, man. I don't really call a lot of shows, but I feel real comfortable calling yours. So
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you.
thanks, man.
All right, man. One.
Call from.
Richard.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? This is Don Tony Teflon. Who we talking to?
Call from.
Richard. How you doing?
I'm all right. You got to turn that down in the background because there's a little bit of delay and stuff.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You just got to turn down the background.
Okay, yeah, I was me and my girl, we've been watching this since season 1.
Okay.
So I got a lot of theories. I might be all over the place, but let's just try to catch on and follow along and try to just work with me.
All right.
All right, number 1. Everybody want to know where from at. We don't know. Nobody know where Fromville at and all this. We don't know. But we did get a hint of it. I think it was in season 1 or season 2 when the white guy that stabbed Boyd's son.
Mm-hmm.
He had said it was an alternate dimension, an alternate parallel dimension.
He said a pocket universe. Pocket universe.
Yeah, pocket universe. So since we in this pocket, and then also it's like a pocket universe next to ours, but normally when you go into the pocket universes and you get out of it, your time like she just got out. So she would have been in a pocket universe for like, I don't know, let's just say she was in there for like 2 months, but when she got out into the real world, it would have been like she was in there for 2 years. So it's real concurrent with our universe. If you understand what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. When she got out, it seemed like with the way she was talking to her mother that this amount of time she has been going in from was the exact amount of time she's been missing in the real world.
Right. Okay. Here go another one. When Boyd got the worms, right? When Boyd got the worms from the dude in the cellar. Okay. They wanted to do a blood transfusion. They wanted to do the blood transfusion when his son got stabbed. So okay. So he didn't want to do the transfusion because he had the worms in him, but he gave the worms to Smiley, and he turned around and still did the blood transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
Right after he did the blood transfusion, is when Fatima got pregnant. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
And you could go back and look at it yourself.
No, I agree. It could have been that blood transfusion. That's something that went inside of Ellis, then worked its way inside of Fatima.
Right. And then here go another one when all the animals got out, it was Victor's idea to tell Kane Wade, what's her name, to let's go outside and save the animals. If you go back and replay it and see it, it was Victor's idea to say let's go out and save the animals. Boyd never told her to come outside.
Yeah, and Boyd didn't tell anyone to come outside. He only forced Jade to come outside because he took the talisman out of the house, but he didn't tell anyone. Everyone else just jumped into action, I believe. Right.
And then the monsters was gonna set everybody up to get whoever was next to Boyd at that time was gonna get killed. They didn't have nobody that they was going after in particular. They was just gonna kill anybody that was with Boyd.
I agree. I don't think that they went after her in particular. Anyone who would have went in that barn, if it was two people would have been dead.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the preacher. The pastor. You think the pastor been in that church? I want to say the pastor probably been in that church for over 40 years. So you think he never heard this? You think he never heard this from Victor Mom? Victor Mom probably came in there telling him the same thing. Victor Dad probably came in there telling him the same thing too as well.
It's quite possible.
Go ahead.
It's quite possible that he heard the story before, or something similar to it.
Yeah, I'm not. And then you got to remember these people that wrote, that's making this movie. They the same people. Not the show. It's the same people that made Lost. So it's going to be a lot of twists and turns and where we think it's going to go, but it's not going to go. But it's not going to go, but it is going to go. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. They're going to leave breadcrumbs that you think you're following, and they're going to lead you off the track from that.
Right. And what? Okay, let's do it. What's the name of the dude that just came in the town? The black dude. Everybody talking about that might be the kid and all this.
Elgin. Elgin.
Yeah, Elgin. No, I don't think Elgin never been here before. Elgin never been here before. He don't know nothing. But it just whatever contacts you, put stuff in your brain where you feel like you've been here before. Like when the pastor killed the dude and all that, and he thought God was telling him to come to the town, so he came to the town. So they talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
But they pick special people to talk to, because some of them can hear you and some of them can't. But I gotta go. I'm gonna catch back up to you because my baby acting up right now.
I hear you, bro.
But I'm gonna catch back up to you, man. It was good talking to you, and I'm gonna come back again.
All right, man. I appreciate it. One.
All right. Go.
Thank you for the call. Let's go through some of these super chats that I've got, and I got a bunch of new members and stuff. So let me go through them all real quick. Luna Cascade, thank you, Tony. Can you remind of the crime? Can you remind of the crime of one? What about the Lonely Dragon? I think that the story sticks to what it was supposed to be. I think it's the same that's always was. I think that Tabitha, as I said from the beginning, is the Chromonacle. Victor, most likely the Lonely Dragon. I don't think it's going to change from that. Fernandez T, I can't wait for more revelations when the plot thickens. Appreciate that guy. New member here. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Welcome to the familia. We got great takes. He said, did Fatima become pregnant before that or after they killed Smiley? Maybe it's like one creature dies, another one is created. That's a good take. I could see them doing that. We don't know the exact time, or we know that Ellis is smashing the cheeks, but we don't know exactly when he did it, before or after. We would have to think that after he was probably not in the condition after getting that stab wound to actually do any business. You know what I mean? And unless it was some throat goat shit. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the only way I could see him doing anything like that at that particular time. But yeah, it could be when one's taken, they need to make a new one. Kelly Johnson said, I just made my Kindle purchase of The Darkest Before the Dawn. We are here. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support 100%. Jake says, and thank you for the super chat. Very generous of everybody to do it. I think the Boy in White is handpicking people, bringing them to the town in order to defeat the evil, save the kids. It always ends in a massacre. Victor is the first. He could be, right? I think the Boy in White is evil, but he could be, I've said it before, one of the experimented kids who got away, and they've been trying to track him down, and they have not been able to track him down. I think that's why they told Sarah to kill the boy. I think the boy they were talking about was the Boy in White, but she seen Ethan and just thought it was Ethan, but I do thought it was the Boy in White. So the place could be trying to kill the Boy in White, and because he's an experiment. Thank you again for the super chat, TNX. And he says, trying not to tune in tonight because I don't want to be thinking about From all damn week, but I need my fix. I hear you. This show gets the best. We got another new member here. Larissa, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the familia. We enjoy having you. And Luna Cascade again, because I theorize that Tony will be the NYT, New York Times best-selling authors list. Much love from the friends. I can only get there with from your tight fingers to God's ears, huh? That definitely can only get there with your support. If you support the book, buy the book, it's possible. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Call from
Officially him.
to accept, press 1.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, how's it going, Tony? What's going on, familia?
What's going on, man? How's everything? How's everything with you?
Everything is great. I just called in. I just had a quick thought.
Yep.
We know that what's going on in From has been going on for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
maybe decades. So just like whenever someone dies, the town replaces it. I got a feeling that since Smiley died, the town is replacing it with a monster, and that monster is Fatima.
All right. All right. We just talked a little bit about that, and I agree. We just talked about that. That is quite possible. There was a super chat that mentioned that. It's quite possible that is the case, that they killed Smiley, so they need a new monster. So Fatima is the monster that they chosen.
All right. That's all I have to say, man. I can't wait for the new episode.
That's what it is.
Everybody take care.
All right, man. Thanks for calling and call back.
All right, take care.
I won. Yeah, you know, I would say I think that's a really good theory. I think that could be the case. There's nothing that dissuades that, right? Nothing that has come out to make you think that wouldn't be the case. Which is the first time we've ever seen a monster killed, and all of a sudden Fatima gets to the situation. Again, is it the baby? Is she pregnant, and the baby's the one doing it to her? Or she's not pregnant, and they're confusing you, making you think it's the baby, but actually she's turning into the monster. And again, if we have to really look at what happens to her after she eats this food. If she starts to get healthy because she ate this food, then we really have to start to consider that the place may have did this on purpose to nurture a baby.
Call from.
Yo, this baby Clay.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
What's going on, Tony? Man, congratulations on your book, G.
Thank you, man. I truly appreciate that.
No problem. Hey, I don't know if anybody peeked, but could we talk about how Boyd could possibly be the man in yellow?
That Boyd could be the man in yellow.
All right, so Terrence said something interesting today on Reels Live.
Okay.
About Daniel Shay and how Daniel Shay was a rebellion type figure in the Revolutionary War. Okay, so in the painting in that basement, I think resembles, or it could represent, the man who started a rebellion against the town. Okay, let me cook right quick.
Yes, sir.
You got Boyd who wants to go home. Boyd is trying to find answers. Boyd is trying to do everything in his power to get his people home. But you got some people who's actually scared of going home. Like, they don't want to leave because you might make it worse, like Donna, like Dale. Like, these are folks who are actually scared of the repercussions they may get when they actually try to find these answers. Okay, so the reason why I think Boyd is the man in yellow, there could have been previous Boyds before the Boyd we know.
Okay.
Like one that always gives the town hope, one that always has faith that they can go home. So maybe just like with Tabitha, if it's always a chosen one, it's always got to be one to rebel against the town's rules.
I feel you. I mean, I look at it more like that would be more of a classroom situation. Like every year in class, whether you're in first grade, second grade, third grade, and the grades that come up behind it, you're always going to have one athlete there. You're always going to have the prettiest girl. You're always going to have someone who's the jokester, who mouths off to the things. You're always going to have these things in there. So I don't know if Boyd would be. Are you saying like Boyd is constantly coming back over and over again?
No, I know what I'm saying is, so like maybe what I'm saying is the character Boyd itself, like, you know how, like, the persona of his character, how he's always hopeful, how he always has faith. Maybe there was a person there before Boyd who did the same thing, and that represents the man in yellow. But another reason why I say that Boyd could be the man in yellow, it was an episode, I don't know if y'all caught it, but it was an episode where Boyd has on a yellow shirt. I'm not sure if I'm colorblind or what, but the button up that Boyd always has on, I think is yellow.
Yes.
Okay. He goes into, I think it's season 1. It might be season 2, but he goes into his bedroom in the post office and grabs another yellow shirt while he already has on one. So I'm like, is this like a Easter egg on how? Because now that I seen episode 2, it's like, damn, was that an Easter egg on how he just picked up another yellow shirt and put it down? He didn't even put it on.
Mhm. I think as,
So I'm like,
as Winter commented in the chat, he's saying that he's like an archetype, and I think that
facts.
yeah, I think that's right. I think there will always be archetypes of certain people. You know what I mean? In there, like I don't think there's always going to be someone like Victor who's in there acting, drawing pictures or anything. But I do think there's going to be leaders like Donna, maybe not do it in the exact same way of Donna, but like the leaders like Donna. I think there's always going to be someone like Boyd to rally the troops. You know, it's always going to be someone he's cool with, like Kenny, that, you know, to be his number 2. I think those things definitely come through. And I do like the fact that the guy in yellow could be that. The suit is kind of, when you look at that picture, looks kind of like a Zoot suit. Like he was around during the time when Victor was younger there. So maybe we'd have to look if they show some type of flashback of that. He could be in there, but his face shape to me does look like the boy in white older when they show the picture of the older boy in white with the crow in his mouth.
And that's fast. I figured that, just like how you was just saying, I don't think that's a present man in yellow. I think that's a man in yellow that could have existed way back when, like because that suit isn't like a up-to-date suit. That's an old ass suit.
Yeah, it's like a Zoot suit.
50s type suit.
Yeah, it's like a Zoot. It's kind of like an old school Zoot suit. Like it's around there. It's got the peak lapel in it. So you could look up peak lapel when the actual peak lapel was created. And I think you go around that time period, it would be that. But I think you could also look at it as he's got the same red color behind him that they got that monster in the cave. The exact same shade of that monster that they draw that's in the cave is the drawing that's behind him that they're using for background for him. So he could be the man behind the curtain that people see as a monster or think is the monster, but really is not a monster. That's what I look at when I see him there. I look at him as like the Wizard of Oz, right? You know, the Wizard of Oz was
right.
You know, it was just a regular guy who just projected, and I think that scared people thinking he was a monster or a wizard. And I think it could be a situation dealing with this man in yellow, that he is just like the Wizard of Oz. He's the Oz. He's behind the curtain, and he's the guy really pulling all the strings for this place.
I mean, that's it right there. Like, because Boyd, to me, he just, I don't know. It's just something about Boyd I can't put my hands on yet. But I feel like he's an avatar of what represented the town before him. Like, it's always a reoccurrence with this town. I ain't trying to hold you up, man.
No, you're not holding me up at all. I agree that this town does work in cycles. And when one cycle ends, they bring in the next cycle to start it over. So I 100% agree with that situation going on. And there could have been an archetype like Boyd and everyone else in there and stuff. So it does lead to this situation. You know, as we heard Victor's mother say, that she wasn't the first one. So there was multiple people like her. They all probably did it their own way. But there's been multiple people like her who's been chosen and stuff.
No doubt. That's all I wanted, man. I ain't gonna hold you up, man. But again, congratulations on your book, G.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, my brother.
No problem, bro.
All right, one. Yeah, you know, archetypes, it definitely could be a situation like that going on there. We'll get to these super chats in 1 second. It could be that. It could be, you know, what we have to ask ourselves, what questions that need to be answered in this show, and what we need to start asking, you know, if we want to figure out what's going on here. Let's look at Victor's mother. Obviously, she's the most important person in this show, though she's been showed a little bit of time, right? She was the one who took the LSD, and from this LSD, that's when he says that she started seeing these things. Now, we don't know if she was seeing it before the LSD or she used the LSD to enhance what she was seeing, all right? People say they go on LSD and it opens their mind up to different universes, different planes of existence, right? We know that, like, that people have said that, who have tripped before, that their mind opens up to different planes of existence, that they're able to tune into different things of presence of realities while on LSD. That's why they act the way they do and see different things, right? What do we use as human beings? 9% of our total brain is functional. and we have all the rest of this brain that we don't use. And people say the LSD, it's able to tap into those situations. So did she use it for that because she was getting these things before, and now she used it to tap into broaden her horizon? We know now that the bottle tree, she put it out there, but she's seen images of the bottle tree. That's why she put it by her house. So to me, that makes me think that the dream theory is out the window. This is all a dream, because if she had made that bottle tree and put that bottle tree there and then went to From, and there was a bottle tree already in there and she didn't know about it, then we would say that the stuff that she's manifesting in her brain is taking shape in Fromville. But the fact that she's seen pictures of the bottle tree and then reduplicated the bottle tree makes us think the bottle tree was there way before that. So we know that there is some type of importance of this bottle tree, and something has to be going there. So she has these visions. Who else has had these visions? We got to start looking at the people who had visions. Why was she given visions? And who else had visions? And who had visions before they got there? We need to know that. If anyone else had visions in this show before they got there, before they entered this place, because that's the key. People have gotten visions while they're inside of this town, but she is the only person that we know of that has gotten visions before she got there. When Elgin got there and he had his dream, if you want to call it a vision or dream, he had the dream while he was already in there and he was already sleeping in the truck. Sarah's got her dreams while she was already there. You know, anyone else who's gotten anything has gotten it when they're there. So we need to find out if anyone else in the outside world has gotten some of these things before. Because if someone else has gotten these things before, then we can start putting these pieces together. And then we have to start asking the question about why was she chosen? What's special about her that she was chosen as this person to be the defender? Because it doesn't seem like she did anything special. It doesn't seem like she had any particular skill set like Liam Neeson, right? She didn't have a particular skills that we know of, right? From what we're saying, she didn't do anything. She didn't have anything. So why did they choose her? What makes her special? Is it her bloodline? Is it Victor's father's bloodline? Now, we maybe have to throw out the fact that it's Victor's father's bloodline because he wasn't chosen. So then we can narrow it down to being her bloodline. Now, what makes her bloodline so special? What's her maiden last name? We need to know what that woman's maiden last name is and stuff, so we can start tracking down her family history and finding out what's going on there. Now, the only other person that seems to be chosen is Tabitha. So if Tabitha was chosen and we can't figure out exactly why this woman was chosen, what is the connection between her and Tabitha? Why were they both chosen? We have not seen Tabitha having any type of dreams outside this place or anything. We've seen her have premonitions when she was inside of there, but we didn't see her have anything outside of there. So why was Tabitha chosen? What makes Tabitha special? What's Tabitha's maiden last name? We need to know these things. These are things that we have to figure out and stuff. What connects Tabitha to Victor's mother? We know the bracelet does, right? That's all we know. With the concrete proof of it is we got the bracelet. And what we know about the bracelet is that Tabitha made that bracelet out of Jim's bootstraps, and made them, and it wasn't perfect. And then it found its way into Fromville. It was already there when she got there. But then we seen Victor's mother wearing the exact same bracelet. How does she have the exact same bracelet on? So there is some type of connection going on here, and those is what we have to figure out exactly what it is. And we can figure those things out, then I think we can figure out exactly what's going on there. But you would have to think the only thing I could see it being is it's not their job. It has to be something with their bloodline. If something special about their blood, we've seen a lot of things in blood. We've seen creatures drinking blood out of skulls in this thing. We see a lot of the pictures are dealing with blood. Every time when Jade touches the tree with the Civil War soldier, we see blood dripping all over the place. There's something to do with blood here. Every time he sees that symbol is covered in blood. When you see the dude, the guy open the book and show it to Jade, the symbol starts dripping with blood. So blood is important in here. And how is blood important in here? Is it bloodline? Because when we look at the creatures that are there, the creatures didn't have a drop of blood in their body. In fact, they were fossilized inside there. All they had was the bile in their stomach. So what is special about the blood? And does anyone else have this special blood? Does Sarah have special blood? She had a vision. We would think Ethan is related to Tabitha, so he has her blood, so we know he had the vision. So maybe his blood's special. Elgin, we have no connection for anybody. He had the vision, so I don't know how his blood would be special at all. And then we're talking about a white woman a Colombian woman, a black man, and her son, and another white woman and Sarah. So how it all fits, I don't know. But it has to fit some way. It has to fit some way, and that's what we have to start looking at and everything else, of things like that, because it could be things I missed and everything else, but it has to be something else in there that makes this whole thing work itself out. And the only thing we could look at here is that we know it has to have something to do with Victor's mother and it not Victor's father. So we need to learn her goddamn last name, start tracing her lineage, figure this thing out. We got another call. Let's take it.
Call from
I kind of love Etsy.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, Tony, it's I kind of love Etsy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Listen, your last caller, I think he's really on to something.
Okay.
Because this is what I'm thinking. You know the man in yellow, that type of suit he has on? It reminds me of like a CEO back in the 60s.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when Frank was looking on the website with Tabitha,
Mm-hmm.
he pulled up the website, and in the corner, it's a real website. I pulled it up on the internet.
Yes, it is.
In the corner, there's a moving company.
Mm-hmm.
And the main color is yellow. Rendezvous moving.
Mm-hmm.
We know what rendezvous means.
Mm-hmm.
And you're moving people to and from places.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be like the setup, like the front business
The front
for a
business
big
is
corporation.
Listen, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. That Rendezvous Moving is a front company for a scientific organization running in the background.
Yes.
It could be. I
Yes.
also know when you look, when I hit that picture myself, and when you hit that picture and you click on that picture, it will also bring up a whole thing of links. And if you
Right.
it says that there's one of the links it's hitting, and when you hit that hidden link, it shows a picture that Victor drew.
Now, there's another link. I'm not even going to spill it, but there's another link that is very important, I think, to this show. But I'm not going to tell it. But look, one other thing I wanted to say, and then that's all I got, is I just want to say this. I really think Boyd is the mole, but I think he's like an unwitting mole. Like, I think he's being manipulated to the point where he doesn't realize he's being manipulated. And I don't think he's ever getting out of Frontville. I think if anybody saves those people, it'll be Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny. I mean, Kenny's been through the worst, so he has to, in the end, be the hero because he's been through the worst. Like, you can't kill Kenny off now after everything he's been. Like, you can't wipe the whole family line out. All right.
It may come down to Kenny having to kill Boyd for all of them to get out of Frontville. It may come to that.
It could.
But that's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I think you brought up some interesting points.
All right. Listen, have a good evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, the rendezvous, it could be a front. That sounds 100% right. Again, y'all can go check out that link and you look it up. You'll see it for yourself and everything else. All right, let's keep going.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
What's going on? Who's this? Uh-huh. 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 All right. Don't call because if you don't, put you on blast, bro. Straight up, man. So just know you're gonna get aired out. You know what I'm saying? So but the guy in the yellow, as my sister said, Maya says it looks like a pimp. No offense to pimp and pimp lifestyle. No, it looks like a zoot suit from back in the day, but it could be a type of situation where it's like a CEO suit. I've always said from the jump that this is in the end, I'm telling you that this got to have something to do with. And if someone said, "Oh, you said it was aliens," and now you're saying this is that, I'm not. I've never gotten no and admit that I was wrong. I'm not wrong. Why would I admit that I was wrong? I'm not wrong. There's nothing that has proven me to be wrong in this whole situation. So no, I'm not going to admit I'm not wrong. I will admit that 100%, but I'm not that. Let's take this call.
Call from
Fatima.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, Tony, it's Fatima.
Hi, how are you? You all right? You sound a little down.
I'm super tired, but I'm trying to stay up and watch this live.
All right. What's going on?
So I just wanted to talk about the Man in Yellow. So, I had made a post in this group and it was about the Man in Yellow and Boyd. And I've always thought it was super strange that Boyd always wears that yellow shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. They limit it with their clothing. But that shirt gets bloodied up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he has 2,500 yellow shirts in Farmville, I just feel like it's something with that. And every time he wears it, something tragic happens. He got shot. Father Cautry died. Like, every time, like, every time he wears that yellow, something tragic happens. And, like, as soon as I saw that red, like you said, around it, it reminded me of the tunnel and the red. And, like, I'm like, is it just some kind of, I don't know if it's, like, controlling Boyd or if Boyd is just, like, he doesn't, I don't know how to say it, but, like, he's bringing this bad energy to Farmville, something like that, if
Right.
that makes sense.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know if Boyd is bad. I don't know if that's a good storytelling to do anything like that. But I do understand when you're saying the yellow shirt, Boyd's got the yellow. We could be drawing too much from the colors, but that is a case that to be made that there is something that right there, 100%.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. There's so much going on that I'm just very confused at this point. Every time I think I figured something out, something else happens, and I don't know what the hell going on.
That's what makes you sound like my sister. But that's what makes the show good. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I try to do. Try to help out if I can.
We appreciate it, Tony.
No doubt.
And yeah, I can't wait to read the book. Hopefully it gets here soon. But yeah, I went and ordered it.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's all.
I truly appreciate it, and I truly hope you enjoy it.
That's all I got. Have a good night.
All right. You get some sleep, all right?
All right, bye.
All right, bye. People are asking about the book in the mod. One of my moderators, please put the link to the book in the chat, please. They said they have missed the link, so can someone please put the link to the book in the chat? You can also find the link in the description there for the book. It's called Darkest Before the Dawn. It's in there too in the description, and I appreciate it if you buy it, and that really would help me out. And again, as you said, let's try to get me to New York Times best-selling author. I would love to be one. Oh, Lord knows I would love to be on, and everything else. That would be a thank you so much, Alicia, for putting the link to the book in there. I truly appreciate you and everything else and all that good stuff. Let's see here. He said, I watched other YouTube videos and they stole your theory about Fatima turning into a YouTube is a copycat place. They're a copycat place, and that's not new. That people do it all the time. And I always tell people it really isn't hard to shout somebody out. But in the end, I think people like to be the smartest person in the room. So they don't like to give people credit because they want to believe that they are the smartest person in the room, which really it's just kind of crazy because this is just all theory telling. This is nothing special going on here. We're just trying to figure it out, and no one knows what's right or wrong. So they can steal the theory, and if it comes out to be wrong, then I'm gonna say they made it up. No, I wouldn't do that. Maxim says, what do you think will be the mind-blowing discovery that makes Tabitha makes in episode 3? Remember the E3 trailer shows a real-life bottle tree in the I would think that it would have been if they didn't show it in. Maybe they didn't show it in the basement. What else could it be? I mean, we see the bottle tree. That she found a bottle tree that actually works in the real world. I don't know. So it's hard for me to say. Maybe. I mean, what would it be? I mean, what could it be? I mean, what could it be out there? You know, I mean, mind blowing discovery. Mind blowing. I mean, if that tree actually works, that would be mind blowing. If somehow she touches the tree and all of a sudden it turns into a far away tree, the hole opens up, then you're gonna start making me think it's got something to do with Matt's because I ain't gonna be able to explain that shit away if we do something like that. You know what I mean? It could be a situation like that. It's got to be some type of connection with his wife. I would think it would have to be something like that she discovers. It would be some type of connection, but what that connection could be, I have no idea. The only connection, as we talked about earlier in this thing, is the bracelet and stuff like that. That's the only connection we have seen them do. So, but I would think it would be some type of connection, but I really couldn't tell you exactly what it would be. The real Eric says Elgin went on an acid trip as well at some point. He's just like Victor's mom. He's seen visions. Remember, I don't know if he did. Did he say he was on acid? I'm not sure if he did. It seems like the difference between him and Victor's mom is he only started seeing the visions when he got there. She's seen them before she got there. I think that would be the big difference. Why isn't Boy considered the chosen one? I don't. It's not him. It's Tabitha. The Chromonacle story is the woman. When they talk about the Chromonacle, that's a woman character that they bring up. So that's why I always thought it revolved around Tabitha from the beginning. You left another one. Oh, yes, that same question twice. I'm sorry. I got it. Thank again, Lou. I theorize that Tony will be. So we're back to where we were, and we won't leave it there because I hope you do. I hope your theory comes true on this one. And everything else. I mean, we're dealing with children, that's what we see, saving the children. You never see like a man saving the children. In fact, when my daughters were young, I told them specifically if they ever got lost or anything, they ever got separated from me or our mother, to go find a woman. Do not find the man. Go find a woman for help. That's exactly what I told them. I drilled that into their heads. You know what I mean? That you have to find a woman. If you get separated from us and you need help, don't find the man. Go find the woman. So I think the woman being a nurturing person and everything else, I think it's got to be a woman. Again, you see the bad things happening here with Fatima. But when you're dealing with the children, I think it's got something to do with a woman there. I don't think it would have to do anything with a man and stuff. Next one, thank you again for the super chat. I said, so what if the so-called Victor's father is lying? I just don't see why it would be a benefit for him to lie. Again, if you're going to say he's lying, we have to have a reason why he's lying. We have to have a benefit of him lying, or what does this get him from lying? What does it get him? And what would he be lying about? You know what I mean? So that's what we would have to ask, This ain't just going to make up a lie just to do it. The guy looks like he's suffered. He looks like an alcoholic. He looks like he's been driven through the mud because people in town have accused him of killing his family for all these years. But yet there's no evidence or proof for anything that he did it. Because that would happen to anybody in any town. If you're in your relationship right now, and you have a family and your family disappears off the face of the earth, the cops are coming to you. Everyone in your town is gossiping behind your back. Even the people you were friends with are going to say, yeah, how come he here, but they gone and they just disappeared? He had to do away with them. That's coming up. And now you're talking about the internet situation. You would have every podcaster and everything else if it made the headlines making podcasts about you. They will be following you around. They'll be asking you questions. Where's your wife? Where's your kids? What happened to your kids? Where's your wife? Where's your kids? What happened to your kids? And they would follow you and hound you to death. They would be outside your door anywhere you went. You went to work or anything else. People be looking at you funny and everything else. So it would just be a bad situation. So in the end, I need to know exactly why he would lie to them. What would he benefit from that lie? That's what it was. And his emotions when he was talking about, Victor to Tabitha, like, don't be playing with me, don't mess with me. Those emotions seemed genuine when he was there. Like, it seemed genuine, his emotions there. So I don't think he's lying. I think he's telling. You know what I mean? Everything else and all that good stuff. And all that. Luna says it's curious Henry didn't ask about Miranda and Eloise. He said they were his whole life. She brought up Victor. I would say she brought up Victor, and she just talked about Victor straight up. So maybe because of that, he was just focused on Victor, and that's it. Because she didn't bring up the other two. She never brought them up, Tabitha, to him. She specifically brought up Victor. So maybe his mind was just on Victor right then. And again, we don't see all the conversations that they have, right? We don't know if when they're off screen that he did ask him about them. So we don't see everything. All we see is what they show us and stuff. But we have seen in the show before that they skip a little bit of time here and there. So it's quite possible they could have talked about that situation. So it could be a situation like that and everything else. Right. What else do we have here? And we got over 320 people watching. Thank you so much for making me the #1 From channel on YouTube, for supporting the channel and everything else. Now that's how I'm able to do the things I do for you guys, as in bring in the people to talk to you because of the status that y'all guys have presented me with. And I don't let you know I'm grateful. Listen, you see it every day. Listen, I've been here from season one covering, right? I remember when me and Elamar would do streams. You could ask her when she's here. When me and her first started doing From streams, we'd have 15 people in the stream, 15 people. And that's all we would get, and sometimes we'd be like, well, is it worth it? Is it worth it to do it? And like, listen, we love the show, so we're going to keep doing it and just keep on going and everything else and just keep rocking it. And look what it has built up to. In season 2 came up. We've seen a lot more YouTubers jump on this and get on the show and come up with their own things. And then season 3 came, and now, God damn it, you look at YouTube right now, it's all you gotta do is watch one person's YouTube video on From, and you will see 90 to 100, if not more, channels with stuff pumping up. You'll see fake AI channels with faceless channels out there doing everything right now. So the show is definitely caught on. There's definitely people, and it's it all depends what type of YouTuber you're dealing with. You deal with YouTube, have a staff working for them. They're just looking for whatever's hot to put out there.
Call from
Rita.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don 27.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Can you turn the background noise up down a little bit?
I'm sorry. Let me put the TV down. I'm sorry. Okay, I was calling because I wonder if anybody ever theorized that it has something to do with witches. It's just a lot of things like the talismans, the totems, the symbols, the pilgrims. Make me think of Salem witch. So I was just wondering, have you ever thought of that? I know you're going to down here with aliens.
I am. But no, yes, I've heard it many a time. I've heard it. I had a woman on my show. Her name is Lauren. Her channel is Lauren Corners. And in season 1, she came on, and she's a tarot card reader. And she said in season 1 that she felt that this show had all to do with witches. That's what she said. You go back and check that thing in season 1 when I did live stream with her. But she said it right from there. She said this is all have to do with witches. Taryn Matheru has come up with a tarot card theory, talking about witches and stuff. So I've heard the witches thing. The witches is there, and I can understand why people would think it would be witchcraft and everything else. So it is a popular theory that it could be witches, and I can't tell you that it's not.
Okay, that's all. I just want to put it out there so I can say I knew it.
All right. There we go.
Oh, and I want to ask you about your book too. Can I ask you a couple questions about your book?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so How long have you been writing a book? I'm interviewing you now.
This
Sorry.
book right here, the book I've written, I started the concept of, I got the idea of the book, and when I write a book, like I come up with the beginning and the ending. So I got the beginning and the ending of this book back during COVID because I had a lot of free time on my hand, and I got the beginning and I got the ending, and I love the beginning and the ending. So I figured I should start writing this book. So I dabbled with it since then, I would say, but I never really got serious about writing it until a couple of years ago when I put the time. So I would write a chapter here and stop for 6 months and write another chapter. So, but the actual structure of the book, like having the beginning of the book and knowing and the ending and knowing what this book was about, that was back in 2019 during COVID.
Okay, and is this your first book?
This is my first novel that I put out. I put out other children's books before, but I've been writing things my whole life. Like since I was a child, I was writing. I think my first book that I ever wrote myself was a book called The Handball Master, back when I was probably in 5th grade, because I played handball all the time, and I wanted handball to be an Olympic sport. So I made a book called The Handball Master, based it around the Karate Kid, and then I made 3 versions of that book and everything. So I've always written and stuff, whether it was that, whether it was rap songs, whether it was screenplays. And this book was initially going to be a screenplay. That's what I was gonna make it, a screenplay, because I thought it would be a good movie trilogy. And then my boy Greg said, well, you're used to writing books. You haven't written too many screenplays. You've written more books. So why not just make it a novel and then adapt that novel into a screenplay? And that's what I did.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I'll definitely get and buy it, and it's good talking to you. Love your channel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. All right, bye. Yeah, so that's my whole thing. Yeah, I'm from Queens. I play handball in Queens. Bronx. I went to the Bronx. I moved to the Bronx, 167 Jerome McCullen. I went out there. I remember I was out there with my man Joe Rivera. He was out there visiting me. I said, let's go over here to these handball courts out here in the Bronx across the Grand Concourse. And I go out there, and me and Joe playing doubles. We was waxing everybody. Bah, bah, bah. Then we shut them down so bad. Dudes was like, yo, stay here. I'm going to go get my man. And they go and come back a half an hour with 2 other people, and bang, we mowed them down. We did not lose a game that whole day. And we just blew the Bronx up. And these dudes were heated. They were so heated that they couldn't do it. And that they couldn't be. So everyone thought I was Dominican, because everyone thinks Puerto Rican people are the best handball players. So everyone figured I was Dominican because I was just waxing these dudes. And my man Joe, that was Puerto Rican, you know what I mean? But we waxed them all. We went through all of them. We were going through them all. They could not mess with us with everything. That was a great time of my life. It was a great day going through all that. Let me go through these super chats that I got here real quick. We got a new member. Welcome to the familiar Dizzy Guy. Appreciate you. Oh, this guy. Right here, this guy. There you go. I got you. This guy explores right there. Yes, sir. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. And Saggy Style, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. It's very generous of you. And I know you support me and other channels and everything else. And so all of us, we appreciate everything. 804.
Call from
Pete.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, my name is Pete from Richmond, VA.
What's going on, Pete?
Not much, man. I rock with your show, man. I'm a big I've been watching From ever since it first came out. But I'm calling because I got a new theory for you that you might want to check out.
Let's go.
So I'm under the theory that it's a simulation.
All right.
And the proof that I have to back it up is if you watch episode 1, season 3, between a time frame of 6:56 and 7:32, there's a guy with a red shirt, red hat in the background walking behind Tabitha, but he's walking in different directions in every scene. And then there's a lady with red pants doing the same. And it's weird because in one scene he's walking one direction, in another scene he's walking another direction. But these are the only 2 characters that you see in the background, and it's very noticeable because they have on red where everybody else have on bland colors.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that might be
I think those are glitches in the Matrix.
a glitch in the simulation. Exactly.
All right. No, I couldn't. I wouldn't be mad if it was a simulation. I wouldn't be mad if that was the case. If that's the way it was going down, and I wouldn't tell you that you're wrong in that theory. It could be a situation where there is a Matrix thing going on here.
Right. And ever since I caught this, I've been looking for other things. I haven't really caught anything yet, but it's very noticeable. And I would say if you were to watch it and you see it, I think you would definitely think, all right, something's up with that, because this guy's in every shot. Like right when she walks into the ice cream parlor, he walks behind her. But in the very first scene, when she's crossing the street, he's about to cross the street and they're about to cross paths, but then he's behind her. It's like, it's weird. It's like,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but I will say this too, that when you shoot a show, you do a scene 30, 50 times probably, right?
Right.
And you try to have the same extras in the same scene, but sometimes it's not possible to have them in the exact same positions. So it could be a simulation, but it could be something like that also too.
Well, I chalked it up to where it could just be bad editing or something like that. But he has a red shirt and a red hat on, and he's the only one in the town that has on something very noticeable as a red hat, red shirt, and then a lady with the red pants too. Because in one scene, she's walking towards Tabitha, and then next thing you know, she's walking from behind Tabitha, and it's like, what? So I don't know. It could be bad editing, but these are the only two characters you see, and it's very, very noticeable because they have on red, and there are only two in the scene with red on. That's why I pointed it out. But I mean, it could be bad editing. At the end of the day, it could be that. I could be reaching.
I know you may be on to something. It could be. It's not a reach. That's not a reach. That's something that you picked up on, and it's an inconsistency in the show. So if there's an inconsistency, then that's obviously there's a problem with it. Now we have to see whether it was just the showrunners messed up, or if it was meant to be something.
Right, and just wanted to see if the crowd, if the fans picked up on it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I definitely say it's something to look into, and hey, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
I appreciate you.
All right.
All right, one. Yeah, listen, you can go back and watch many episodes on television where they're shooting the same scene and something's different in the scene. Like I'll give you an example in the Seinfeld episode when Elaine is in the booth talking to Jerry and talking to George. You can see in one shot she's in the same seat, but she's got her shoulder, she's got a strap for a pocketbook, and then it'll switch to George and it'll come back and then the strap will be gone. Then it'll switch to Jerry and it'll come back and the strap will be there, and then it'll switch back to George and it'll come back and the strap will be gone, right? So it happens. That's not something that doesn't happen. You can obviously see that in one scene when she shot the shot, she shot it with the pocketbook strap on. In another scene, she shot it with it off, and they combined the scenes together, and they just didn't catch it or pick up on it. So these things do happen. Not saying that that's the case. It could be a glitch in the Matrix, but also you have to understand that there is a possibility of it just being a editing mistake by them and that they didn't pick up on. So, but we have to look into it. That's how we do it. We got to look into all these things. We got another super chat here. Thank you so much from Denny. It says the tarot guy said the monsters, I guess you're talking about Taryn, the monsters turned into crows during the day. If you listen when Boy says they will not break up the crow's court. Well, we've seen the monsters sleeping during the day. All right. This is something that we've seen. We've seen them in the caves, and we've seen them sleeping inside of the caves. So to say that the monsters themselves turn into crows, I wouldn't think that those monsters turn into crows, because we've seen them sleeping in the caves in the daytime. Now, if you want to say it's some other entity that's able to see through the crows, someone say like a Bran Stark type character that's just sitting somewhere else and they could see through the crows, then yes, we could say that the crows, that someone else is watching through the crow. Again, the monsters as described in the show are the tip of the spear. The monsters are not the big bad in this. The monsters are nothing but a hired hit dog, right? So they're not what's important. The people that are important are the ones who are telling the monsters to tell. Boy, you said you couldn't break it. You said this place. You didn't say specifically. You said this place couldn't break it. So the people who are running this place, they took that to offense. The monsters didn't say, you said we couldn't break you. We're going to break you. It wasn't personal to them. They said, you said this place couldn't break you. That couldn't fucking break you. That's what you said. Right? That's what you said. So it's not them that's taking it personally, it's the place. So if you want to say the people that control the place, they are the ones behind it, and they took that to offense and they're going to do it, then I can get down with you on that. But as for the monsters turning into crows, there is a picture that Victor drew that looks like a crow with swirly stuff around, like it is transforming. And I'm not saying that there isn't a transforming crow, but I just don't think it's those creatures that are doing the transforming there themselves. I don't think that's the case whatsoever. I think it's more something else going on in that stuff like that. It's some other type of big bad going on there. Adriana says, thank you for the super chat. It says, says the big bad is the red drawing on the painting on the case. I'm sure of it. It does have a feeling of a cosmic horror. And it could be that person there in that drawing is the big bad. But again, that might not be his true form. As I said, it could be a Wizard of Oz situation, right? It could be a guy behind the curtain that's pulling the strings that make you think there's a wizard there, but it really is just a human being or someone there tricking you into believing all this stuff and everything else. That's why when you see the guy in yellow with the yellow suit, they have the same exact red behind them. You know, it could be the foreshadowing that they're giving us right here, that this is the guy behind the red monster. This is what it is. It could be if you like Spider-Man, Mysterio, like this dude, like that guy just makes illusions of everything, right? But he's the guy behind it. It could be anything like that, and it seems to me that that's what it's going to be in the end. I just don't think it's going to be a big monster that's controlling all these other monsters in the end. I think it's going to be more, again, in all these shows that you see, The Walking Dead or anything else like that, or all these end of earth, end of times type situations, or any show like that, in the end, the big bad is always humans themselves, right? It's always the humans who do the worst things to the other humans themselves. That's the way it always goes. That's the way you always see it in all these shows. That's the one thing you can count on. It's usually the humans. They may look like these Walking Dead and all this stuff, and The Last of Us with these creatures out there or the thing, but those aren't the real threats. They're threats. The real threats are the human beings and what we do to ourselves. So I do believe in the end it's going to be some type of human being, something or someone in the fourth dimensional plane that human beings have ascended to, that are running these tests. And I do believe that this is all this test. That all these people are subjects to test. They've been testing the same thing over time, and it's just getting looped through person after person after person. And that's when they're trying to figure something out, and they just haven't figured out to do it. As Miranda said, no one save these children ever. No one, and it just keeps going on and going.
Call from
JT.
What's going on? You're welcome with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, Teflon, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, good sir. Hey, I got a question, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm out in Cali, so man, it's different hours. I just logged into the show. I was just curious. What did you think when Tabitha went to Victor's dad? That yes, he saw the lunch pill, so he knows that she knows a little something. But after like believing her, why do you think he didn't ask about his wife or the sister Eloise?
Yeah, we just talked a little bit about that. He didn't ask. Yes, that's right. No, that's fine. He didn't ask, but I mean, I could only theorize that she brought up Victor, so he was focused on Victor, and that's why he brought it up. That's why he was so focused on Victor, because that's who she brought up. She didn't bring up the others. I think if she would have brought up Miranda, it would have been the same thing. If she brought up Eloise, it would have been the same thing. And again, we don't know what they talked about off screen. He might have mentioned them, and she has no idea what's going on with them. So it could be a situation like that.
Okay, and then I guess the last thing. And we've talked before and everything. We talked about remember I was thinking that the cop that comes in would be Victor's sister. And I know you said that her name is actually Acosta. That's what they casted her as. Do you think that could be a possibility because she's married and that's her name now?
Say it again.
So we talked before, and I was the guy that basically said that the cop that they show in the previews that gets out of the ambulance,
Mhm.
I was the guy that basically said that I had a feeling that was Victor's sister.
Oh,
And I know your theory was, and you're right, because they call her, I think, Acosta, right? As
mhm.
far as how they casted her.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Acosta.
and now Acosta is obviously a last name. Could that be a cover up? Obviously, they got their last name on their uniform anyway, but could that be her maiden name, you think? Could be a nice cover. She's married.
I hear what you're saying. The hairstyle doesn't match. They're bringing her in as a they're saying that she's a new character. Could it be Victor's sister? I just don't know if you go that far. If you're gonna have the father and the sister all back in one season, I would think that you would separate that if that's going to be a big drop, that you wouldn't have, like, if you're going to have, Victor's father, you're not going to find the mother the same season. That's something that you could do next season. You know what I mean? So I think they would spread that out. And we don't have proof that Eloise actually made it out. We have no proof that she made it out.
I got you. And hey, we'll be getting the book. I saw it today. So we'll be ordering that, my good sir. And I wish you all the best, man.
Listen, I appreciate the love, man, and the support. I truly do.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. Take good care. God bless. Okay.
All right. God bless you.
See you.
That's what it is, man. Thank you for anyone out here who's saying that they're going to buy my book or considering buying the book and everything else. I truly appreciate it. You have no idea how much that means to me. Again, someone's asking, where can I get the book? And please put the link in the book again into the chat. You can also look into the description where the book is there and everything else. So definitely, and if you can, I truly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, this is 916.
Call from
The Voice at 916.
Woo.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Here we go. You are now rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hello, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you know I had to call and say congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I just hit the order now button on Amazon. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you.
Excited to read your book. Yes, big time now, huh?
Yeah, well, listen, not big time, but it is. Let's say it's something that I can leave that's going to be here longer than me, right? Something that's just going to be here and outlive me, and something that, my kids could look up and say, my dad did this, and something my sister and my nephew and them could look at and say, my brother and my uncle did this. So it means more to me that I could do things like that and leave that stuff for them more than anything else that would be here for me. There's something that people could actually look and be proud of me for. So that's what really means the most to me about it all.
That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Maybe it can even become a series.
Well, it is. This is book one. And it says this book is supposed to be three-parter. So this is the beginning, the opening salvo of it.
Okay.
And I think that this is it's a really good book to me. Obviously, I wrote it. I think this is a really good opening that it should make people want to see. And I give a glimpse of what's going to happen in the other books in this book. And when you read it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But what to come is going to be even more dynamic than what this book is. It's going to amp it up much more in the later books. This is just the salvo opening.
Oh, I see. So one book builds on another, even though one book will be a complete story, but certain elements will continue on.
Yeah, if I ended the series right now, I could end it right now and not do book 2 and 3. And I think people would be satisfied with it. But when you see, because certain characters will continue over into the other books and stuff. And it's just going to be more fulfilling when you see the whole journey that they go on and stuff, because this is just step one of it, and you'll see everything else that goes on with these characters.
Okay, I'm looking forward to reading it, but I did call with a question about From.
Yes.
When we saw Donna last, she was cutting up the meat from the cow that had been killed by the creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think that meat is safe?
I never thought about that. And you know, you could be right. There could be something in that meat. What's in their claws? We don't know if there's any poison tip claws or just sharp or anything else like that. But it could be, now that you brought that up, there could be some infection in that meat from the slicing of that creature that could affect people later on in the town. It's a good get.
That's right. It could take out a lot of people, or it could make people ill, or it can even transform them. Who knows? But I just thought that was, because we were talking about Fatima, eating the poisoned or the rotted vegetables, and then we see Donna cutting up meat that was killed by the creatures. I was just like, I don't know if I'd want to eat that. But anyway, congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I know it will be a success.
I hope
your familia is very supportive. We're all there for you.
I
so
see that, and I truly
all
appreciate.
good.
Truly appreciate the support more than y'all will ever know. I truly appreciate the
Yeah.
support.
Well, you stay sexy, Tony.
You too, babe.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was the voice of 916. We love when the voice of 916 calls in. I mean, it just amps up the whole show for the rest of the show. But the meat situation is another. I never thought about the meat. Could the meat be infected because the monster killed it? Now, if the meat is infected, would you think that Fatima all of a sudden will want to start eating some of this meat because it's infected or something like that? Or could something be wrong with the meat and other people get messed up with it and everything else like that? It could be something going on here and stuff. I can't call it, but I think that is a really good get and everything else. Let's take this super chat from Duke. It says, Fromville located where ley lines intersect. Voice 916 got me all flustered. On the map, it looks like the symbol Jade is obsessed with. The energy from it manifests people's hopes. It could be a situation where a Bermuda Triangle type situation. I've talked about this before. Bermuda Triangle type situation where there's wormholes or gaps in the universe, or gaps where you can cross space and time through one of these places and stuff like that. So it definitely could be a situation going on like that. So I definitely feel you on that. It could be that. I would not be against that to hear that at all. So no, I think that's really good. I could get really good chance of that going in anyway. Again, I think it's scientific in the end. So whether it's the wormholes or any type of dimensional portals, I believe that's what we'll find out in the end of all this when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? But I do like that whole ley lines on the map. I will have to go take a look and see all the pins in the map and see if I can just put together that symbol with the pin. There's so many pins, I guess, and you could do it. You know what I mean? If it was just a certain amount of pins, there's so many pins that you probably did. What up to my man Pete Easy in the building, the man who has helped make these beautiful t-shirts for me and everything else. I told y'all know where to go get those t-shirts and everything else. If you're looking for one of these familiar t-shirts and everything else, go definitely check out that site. Pete Easy site. We have that up in it will be in the description as always. It's in all the videos and all that. I feel like I'm selling a lot of things. I'm selling the shirt, I'm selling my book and everything else. Don't break yourself, don't break your pockets, don't do anything. Do what's best for you and everything else and all that. And KP, I fully expect you. I don't expect anyone to buy my book, but KP, I fully expect you to buy this book. I fully expect it. I expect you to have this book and to come on here and talk to me about it. I 100% expect that. So I don't know if you got the link, KP. You should have the link. I'm sure they put the link in the chat, KP. So I know you can go out there and get it and everything else and all that good stuff. Let's go. I think Victor knows everything and he's being a gatekeeper. It definitely could be a case where his memories are been wiped, like his memory has been wiped, and everything else, and all that good stuff, you know. So that's the reason why his memory's wiped, because he is the bad guy and everything else. KP says it's been ordered. Hopefully, I know you said before you ordered it wasn't out then, so hopefully it's a different book because it just came out yesterday. So hopefully you didn't order a different book. you ordered the actual book. Because I just put the book out yesterday. I remember you said something in the chat like you were ordering the book. It was going to take 10 weeks to get there. Hope not, because that's not mine. If it was, mine just came out yesterday. So hopefully, and if y'all are looking for it, I'll put the cover up so you can see it again. So if y'all do go and order, and something happens where you don't know what the book itself looks like and everything else. I have dropped the cover before. I will drop the cover again right here. So if you don't see that, then it's not my book. All right. If you see that, then it's my book. That is the cover of the book right there. All right. That's what it is. You know what I mean? And that's it. PE say he's shipping out some shirts tomorrow. That is what it is. There was the whole thing I told y'all before about it, that there was the hurricane and everything else slowed down shipping out and everything else. But it'll be there and everything else. Yes, it's very easy to order, as Edward says. It's an easy book to order. You can just order it really quick and stuff. It won't take you that long. But that's the cover. So if you don't see that cover, then you didn't order my book. All right. So, and thank you, says great cover. Thank you so much. There's a secret in that cover. You can find it there, but there is a secret in that cover. I got to put all these Easter eggs and everything else in this thing, right? You know what I'm doing. There's a secret in that cover. If you can find it, you can find it. But there is a secret in it. And all that good stuff and everything else. So, again, someone dropped that shirt link. Yeah, you can definitely drop the shirt link and everything else in town. All right, so what's KP saying here? Usually call in with this, KP, and the phone number's open. You call me. The town is an incubator for a new god with the boy in white as its embryo. Fuels the cosmic birth with the monster aiding to the process. I think that's a great theory. It could be a situation like that going on. It could be, if you want to look at the Celestials, right? In Camaro Comics, where they put the new Celestial inside the Earth itself, and it has to destroy it. It feeds on the whole planet, and then when it's strong enough, it breaks the planet down and explodes the planet, and that's how you birth it. A smaller form, it's just the actual doing that. So yes, I can definitely say it. This is 868.
Call from.
Here you go, Gary.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
What's going on, KP?
Good evening. Tony Teflon.
Yes, sir.
The newest big black author to come on the Amazon streets. So let me clarify. When I said I ordered the book on Sunday or whenever it was, what I meant was, so in Trinidad, if you order from Amazon to Trinidad, the shipping, the book would be $30, the shipping would be $50. So that makes no sense. So there's skybox services that have a particular location in Miami, and you can sign up for them. And anytime you need something, you just tell them what you need, and they'll ship it to Miami. And then they put them all together, and they bring them to Trinidad, and we pay, a quarter of the price for shipping.
Okay.
And there's a concierge service. So what I did was I sent them the link to your book, and I said, buy this for me. And they would buy it whenever it's available and send it. And it was this looks like it'll have about a 6 to 8 week wait. I was like, yeah, I could wait. I have stuff to do. I have nothing to do. I'll chill. I'll wait and figure it out. So as soon as I get it, hopefully before Christmas, I will. And there's only I just saw there's a Kindle version.
Yes.
So I'll order that. I have a Kindle, so I'll order that too. When I figure it out, so sometime this weekend or so. But yes, first let me say, I really enjoyed these last 2 episodes. It's been beat to beat. It's been it's been fast paced. It has been head spinning, head scratching, head turning, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched the second episode perhaps 4 times about 4 times already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll probably watch it again, Friday night or so. So that was so I'm glad about all that. I have pretty much no complaints. The acting was great. The Kenny's mom passing away, and Kenny develop, Kenny getting into action mode, and perhaps Breaking Bad, in some sort of fashion is interesting. I would say my belief, I'm starting to formulate a theory and a belief of what this world is about, even though I promised myself I wouldn't. My belief is that this is a large cosmic game, similar to like a myth, like a Greek myth. Like, for example, the story of Paris. Paris is this Greek, this Trojan prince, and the goddesses want to decide amongst themselves who's the hottest. And they're like, okay, here's what. We're going to pick the prettiest guy we can find, that's Paris, and he's going to say which one of us is the hottest. And we will all bribe him with things, and, he'll pick who he wants. And then he goes about and he picks Helen, and he picked Aphrodite, and Aphrodite got him to pick her because she said that she would get him married to the most beautiful woman in the world, and that's what he wanted, right? And obviously, all the other goddesses started hating. I believe there's something like that happening, where whether these are entities, gods, whatever, this is an exercise to try to determine who is the best of the best, whether it's the best of the best amongst the aliens of all planets, of all the planets in the universe, whether it's the best of the gods, quote unquote, whatever the gods might be. Maybe it's the best of particular AI system, similar to like Warhammer 40K, like Warhammer 40, similar to like Dune and the Butlerian Jihad, and before the Butlerian Jihad having the planets and whatnot being ruled by AIs that had human brains, like a warlord who got very, very powerful could take his brain and in fact his essence, his very spirit, and put it into a big mechanical dynamo, and he would have all his memories and everything before, but he'd have super strength, and a bunch of them formed, and now they're fighting, and they started fighting one another to see who would be the biggest guy. I think there's something like that happening here, and these things with the monsters and whatnot are challenges that the people are going through, that these entities, contestants are going through to trying to get themselves to that spot. And part of the game is the fact that the people in the game don't know that it's a game. They have to wipe their memory before they go in. That's my theory, and then second theory is the cabin in the woods theory, which I think I've been through a million times, which is very similar to this theory. So I know it's Wednesday and a lot of people want to get on, so I'm gonna hang up and I'll listen to your thoughts on that. All right. Whether you have any on that, and if depending on how things go, I might call back a little later again.
All right, brother.
Either way, good to talk to you, Tony. Hello, everybody. Good chat. Have a good evening, and I'll watch you on TV.
All right, bro. Peace. Yeah, it's so I understand what he's saying about the Warhammer. I'm not familiar with the Warhammers. From what he's saying, I can understand. You're saying there's gods and everything else that are controlling everything, and the gods are the ones playing this game. And I do believe that it could be gods playing this game of with these people. I think that it could be things like that, and people would say that it was gods, but that's not what the experts say.
We have all sorts of stories, mythologies, legends that could be interpreted as gods, who in reality were misinterpreted extraterrestrials.
And I think we'll be in more situations like that. And that would be it. You know, people, there's realities, mythology, all these things, as he said, you know what I mean? That says that they're gods, but all they are misrepresented extraterrestrial and nonfiction. So I just ordered my copy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We have a super chat here from Luna. Let me grab that up real quick. And everything. It says, who are the major pieces? Boy and White, and the Kui kids, from Citizens, creatures. How do these pieces fit with each other? What images repeat themselves? Those are the main questions that people, and 100%. You can know the major pieces in this story. It's pretty obvious who the major pieces in this story. The major pieces are the Kui kids. Anything dealing with Tabitha, Victor, right? These are the major pieces. Tabitha is Victor, right? That's the story is there. Everybody else that's there is to help them get to the end of this thing. But the main people in the story is Tabitha and Victor, right? That's the story. That's the story. Everything that has ran around here, whether anything that we have seen in this story has revolved around those two characters, have somehow made its way back to those two, no matter what we see. So anything else that we see from these things right now always will come back in some way to them.
Call from
Julie B.
To accept, press 1.
You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, Tony, it's Julie B.
What's going on, Jules?
Not much, so much. I don't know all the stuff you guys have talked about tonight yet. I wasn't feeling too well, so I missed the first part of your show. But I wanted to comment on something KP just touched on, like that this could be some kind of cosmic game.
Mm-hmm.
There's something so omnipresent about this theme of games in this show, and I just think there has to be something to it. It's been going on since the beginning. I mean, in the very first episode, you had Kenny and his dad playing chess, and that chess metaphor keeps coming back again and again. After his father was murdered, Kenny told Boyd, it's like the monsters never run, they only walk. There's only so many places we can go, and we're running out of spaces on the board. He compared it to chess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a losing game of chess. And like, there are games all over the show. I mean, there are playing cards, there's board games, there are people playing games at Colony House all the time. You know, that's something Real Enigmas has pointed out too, you know, games, this theme of games. Mm-hmm. And it's something I've noticed from the beginning, especially the chess. And then in season 3, episode 1, Boyd gave this big speech saying, we can still win. We're still in this thing. Win. There's that game language again. Like there's some kind of game going on. And then in episode 2, Donna told Boyd, you did the only thing you could do and you lost because the game here is rigged. And no matter what hand you play, you lose. So I'm starting to think maybe there is some kind of game going on here. Like, I mean, it seems like there are rules to it. That, you know, like the monsters can't come in if the talismans are hung up in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And as long as you don't open the door or the window, they can't come in. I don't think it's magic, personally. It almost seems like rules to a game. Like, I'm with you on the fact that I don't think there's magical stuff going on here. But it's something to think about. I don't know. I'm wondering, too, if there's some kind of cosmic entity. Maybe all of these people are pawns in a game, and then they're just being played and manipulated.
And that would be too, right? That would be everyone in anyone's life. We're all pawns to a certain game, regardless of whatever game you want to say it is. But everyone in life is pawns in the game, whether we're pawns to the politicians or the billionaires or every class. So I could see that being a factor in everything in life. But if you're saying that it's specifically that there are one entity, and like if it's a game that they're playing, you're saying there's one entity on this side, one entity on the other side, and they're using us as pieces on this game board and everything else to see who wins this game. Then we have to start talking about natural selection, and then you have to also talk about free will. What free will would you have if you're that type of game? What free will would you have? I mean, again, you've seen Trading Spaces. I'm sure you've seen that, right? In Trading Spaces, that was about two rich guys playing a game, saying we're going to take this black guy, we're going to give him all the benefits, and we're going to take this upper class white guy, we're going to make him into the black guy and see how he survives it, and see if he actually becomes a criminal, and if this guy actually becomes successful. Right, so there could be a game situation like in that show. So these concepts have come up before in other movies and everything else and stuff. We have seen these before, but but actual one person here, one person there, which that was the case there. I don't know if I could buy it. Me personally, I think more of an experiment situation more than just a straight up game that two people are playing for their benefit for fun. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the only thing I had, because again, in Trading Spaces, that was they bet $1 to see what happened in that. You know, it was their bet just to see what goes on. So it would have to be two entities playing this game for fun, seeing what happens in these people's lives, and that would be the hang up for me on that whole situation. But as for life itself being a game and everything's a game in life, then yes, the game of life, after an actual board game called the Game of Life, is I do believe that it is a game, and they're looking at it as such, and that's the way to figure out how to get through it. I think chess is not a good representation of this game. Chess is a game about taking someone's pieces and everything else, but the game of Go would be a more accurate representation, because that's about taking the spaces away from the other places and actually taking the territory, other than conquering the king and the queen and stuff. So to me, that would if they were playing that game there, then that would have been a much better representation. I could say everything is that's what it is and everything else, right? So I understand what they're saying. I do get it. I understand why people are saying it, and there are a lot of references to games in the show and everything else, but I myself would lean more towards some type of experiment more than two entities actually just sitting back and playing a game with people.
Yeah, see, I see what you're saying. I try to keep an open mind. You know, I don't just marry myself to one theory. But one thing that I have always believed is that there is some entity manipulating them, using them as pawns. It may not literally be a game, but something or somebody is manipulating them to do what they want. Now, whether you want to call it like someone who's running this experiment or some spiritual entities who are playing a game, somebody is manipulating them. And the game part could just be a metaphor. Like, for example, when Ghost Khatri appeared in season 2, when he first appeared, he was sitting there in the sheriff's station with a chessboard. And now, I mean, this was totally random. You know, they never played chess together. This wasn't something that was connected to them at all. This was Kenny and his dad who played chess. There's the chessboard. And Khatri was trying to get Boyd to not put Sarah in the box. He was trying to convince Boyd, protect Sarah. Boyd wasn't listening. Boyd started walking away. Khatri followed him, picked up a pawn, which was stained with Kenny's father's blood. Excuse me. Pointed it at Boyd while he was talking, as if to say right in our faces, Boyd is being manipulated by some entity. I don't personally think that was just him talking to himself. I know a lot of people think that that's just part of his subconscious. I think it's an act of manipulation. Now, who knows whether it's some kind of parlor trick in an experiment, or whether it's an entity. I personally think it's an entity that's taking a form, that's shape-shifting, manifesting for Boyd. But whatever it is, I think that this is a clue that he is being manipulated by somebody. The fact that that chess piece pawn was pointed right at him. And he agreed at that point. That's when he was convinced to keep Sarah out of the box and protect her. So there's definitely something to this. It could be just a metaphor for the fact that everyone here is being manipulated, and every last person, someone is trying to break all of them. So yeah, I just find it a fascinating theme in this show. So that's what I wanted to mention. KT kind of, made me just want to jump off on that in my own interpretation. I don't look at it the way he does. His interpretation is interesting, but yeah, I don't think it has to do with Greek mythology, because I think this is very much based in America. But the theme of games, there's something to it. There's definitely something to it.
All right.
Yeah, but congratulations on your book, Tony. I wanted to tell you that too.
Well,
I'm
thank
really
you.
happy for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the love 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you probably think Ghost Godfrey's just in his head, right? I'm guessing. Is that what you think?
I don't know if it's in his head. I think it's being placed there. Whether anyone else can see it, I'm not sure. But I don't think it's a vision that he's just having. I think someone is putting it there purposely for him to communicate with him. And I think that it's most likely a person that's putting a familiar face in front of him because they don't look the way he would want them to look. So they put someone familiar in front of him so that his guard is down when they talk to him.
Yes. See, we may have different perspectives and theories on what is going on with this show, but I agree with you on that whatever is going on, whether it's a vision, whether it's a spiritual shape-shifting entity, like Taryn calls it the boogeyman, or whether it's just somebody putting that in front of him, trying to manipulate him because that's a familiar face. Like you're saying, yeah, I absolutely think that this is a form of manipulation.
I mean, listen, Jade says straight up, they're rats in the maze, right? And I look at it more like that, what Jade said. The rats in the maze, looking for the cheese, and he's one of the people who places the cheese. He's not the rat in the maze, meaning that scientists, rich people on his level are the cheese placers, and this is a maze, and they're rats in the maze. That's not a game, right? When they do it, I guess you could think of it as sort of a game, but when they do it, they're really trying to conduct a scientific experiment of how long it takes this rat to find that piece of cheese, more than actually betting. I bet you it takes that rat 10 seconds to get it. I'll bet you $5 he does it in 5. That would be a game situation if they did that. But when they do those things like that, they do it as a scientific discovery to figure out exactly how long it would take this rat to get through this maze and get to that cheese, and how smart this rat is. And that is what I think is going on here, more than the game itself.
Yeah, I'm totally with you that metaphor is such an important part of this show, and I think that's going to keep coming back. The rats in a maze, absolutely. And either way, if you look at it, I mean, in terms of manipulation, yeah. I mean, even the rats in a maze are being manipulated. They're being watched.
Of course.
You're trying to get them to do a certain thing. So it could just be that the people in this show are just interpreting it like it's a game, like they feel like they're being played. And yeah, so either way, we're looking at manipulation, just high level manipulation of these people, whatever it is. So we may have different theories, but we can always find common ground on that. I'm telling you, because it's high level manipulation. Expert level trolling going on at this point. I mean, like the celebration song on the jukebox, this is for me, that's some serious trolling. That is
100%. 100%. No doubt about it.
They were trying to trigger Kenny, they were trying to trigger Kenny to do something stupid, to do something dangerous.
They did trigger him, no doubt about it. And that's what it was. All right, I'm getting off this thing, so let me get off this phone with you first so I can say goodbye to the people. But thank you for calling in and stuff like that. And you're doing the show after this, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do a live after this. So I'm gonna make it a call in so people can hop on.
There you go.
I'm flying solo.
All right, I hear you. I know how it is. So definitely have a good show. I'll send people your way. Tell them that you're going on live. Well, I already did, so we'll try to send people your way. All right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my channel is Julie B Deep Dive, if anybody's interested. And thank you so much, Tony, for your support as always.
No problem. You have a good night.
You too, Tony.
All right, peace.
Bye.
All right, again, we're going to wrap this up right here. But the Fountain of Youth says original Clash of the Titans star Harry Cavill in 1980 with the Greek gods playing a chess-like game, looking down, manipulating the pieces. Perseus. I love that movie, and you're 100%. I just don't feel that that's exactly what's going on here. But I understand what you're saying. if it's you're talking to gods and you want to say that there's gods involved in here, and the gods have heroes. But again, when you looked at those Greek gods and you look at that story, they were playing a game like a game of chess. But this was also Zeus's son. This is also, they had some connection. So again, we must find the connection to these people, the bloodline, in order to know exactly what's going on and everything else. I would need to know that before I could say it's something like that. Let me thank you, everybody who came to this live stream, especially the people who went there and purchased my book. I truly appreciate it. Again, if you haven't gotten the thing in the chat, it's in the description. If you can buy it, it truly means the world to me, and I hope you give it a read. And after you buy it and give it a read, the most important thing would be give that thing 5 stars and write a review on Amazon. The more reviews, the more 5-star reviews you get, the more Amazon promotes it more. It's a YouTube thing, right? The 5-star reviews are no more than the thumbs up, and the reviews are more just like the comments. And the more of those you get, the more Amazon will push the book and put it on their front page. And that's what we're going for, because that's how you make sales and stuff like that. All right. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is.